Have you ever been invited to join in a game but feel a little anxious because you're not entirely sure how the rules work, or whether the people you're playing with maybe have their own special house rules that you haven't worked out yet? Snap.
Dad, don't you know you're not allowed to use Joker and Snap?
You're not?
No.
In that kind of situation, what's your natural response? Do you opt to sit back and observe a little, watch and learn until you've worked it all out? Or perhaps you pass altogether? Or maybe you're someone who just is quite happy to jump in and have a crack, unfazed by the situation. Every time we hold a meeting, a workshop, or any kind of group activity, chances are there are a few folks who feel as though they've stepped into a game that's unfamiliar to them, perhaps even a little daunting. I find the metaphor of a game really useful here because it invites us to be much more explicit about the rules, or put it another way, how the game works. And so I guess the big message here is, don't leave people guessing or wondering what the rules are, because that could be making it very hard for them to bring their full voice to the table. So what to do? Well, spend time at the top of your meetings or other team activities talking not just about agenda and what we're here to do, but also about the way you want your meeting to go. One question I often pose when facilitating groups is, how do we want to roll today? What's important about the way this discussion or meeting plays out? And that usually brings some really interesting principles to the surface. Things like, it's important to hear from everyone, or we need to be willing to challenge and be challenged. Or another might be, we need to keep the voice of the customer present in the conversation. Or perhaps we need to make sure we respect everyone's different thinking styles, give people the chance to process ideas. Now, once you get some of those principles out, then you can have a conversation about how to make sure those things happen in the meeting. This is a great exercise to do if you're part of an intact team or a recurring meeting of some kind, in which case it's well worth the investment of time. But it's equally useful for one-off meetings, especially when you've got people joining who are new to the group and where it's important to get everyone off the sidelines, out of the observer seats as it were, and into the game as quickly as possible. And of course, this metaphor of a game is only going to be useful if you think of games that are about having fun together, co-creating, not smashing your opponent to the ground. Bear in mind, whole cultures are built on people essentially forging and following an implicit set of rules. And those rules become the house rules, and the house rules shape the culture. So, next time you're convening a group, whether that's online or in person, look for the chance to ask, given what we want to achieve, how do we want these meetings to roll? How do we make sure we get the best possible dynamic here? And by the way, don't worry about getting that conversation right. Just by creating a shared awareness amongst everyone of group dynamics, you'll be taking a really important step towards making it easier for everyone to join in the game. Anyhow, that's it from me. If you'd like to receive tips like this straight to your inbox, along with the transcript, make sure you sign up at simondowling.com.au. Otherwise, I shall see you again very soon. So, explain to me how this actually works.
Okay, so...
No jokers?
No jokers, of course.
Except me.
And so I'll put out my jokers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Samuel Dowling. Crazy. Okay,
How
cool.
many cats do I have?
Too many.